Welcome, everyone, to Analytics Are For the Nerds, a Comedy Dynasty football podcast. We are entering week 6. Let's go.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the
film festival. It's just a golf clap, right? They don't actually give you like a real clap. I feel like it's very, high society. They're not going to give you
Yeah, it's like a queef clap, like
I'm never gonna get that image out of my head.
like that Moana.
Very clear 101 in this biggest foot in the mouth draft. And the 101, it's very clearly Rex Ryan, because that guy has definitely put some feet in the mouth. 100%. Guy loves feet, his white feet.
Big feet.
Lots of feet in
Little
the mouth.
feet.
I'm sure.
So many feet. Long live Dolly Parton.
Hold on, I gotta look up how she
It's not.
is.
You're looking. Wait, do you not know who Dolly Parton is?
No, I know who she is. I'm just trying to see what she looks like now.
She's still with us?
No, I want to see what she looks like now, because like 10 years ago I would have. Oh, I still would. 100% still would. Absolutely. How old is she? She's got to be like 80, right? Are you judging me? I can't see you because I'm looking at Google.
That ticker. Let me see.
you're
And
judging.
the double mustache and that is fucking gross. So, welcome.
I do want to be clear, though, that I have earned one, and Lou is depressed. There's a big difference. Lou is still trying to convince 16-year-olds he's cool, and they keep telling him they don't want weed from him. They can get it from anywhere.
Hey, guys. I just want to say, I can see everyone backstage, and that clip that makes me laugh every time about Lou being depressed. Like, Ryan and I are like, whoa. And then every week, Louis just goes, like, he just looks more sad. One day we'll do a best of recap. I love those videos. I love the intro. It's fun to see, Louis, how your and my hairstyles and makeup or glasses change. And Ryan, you are like, you show up looking like you, like all good and appropriate. Your beard's always trimmed. Hat or no hat, you show up. No one's guessing, which is great. You are our.
Well, now it's a bad time to tell you that this is actually AI. I'm not actually here. So,
Louis, go on, Lou.
I was going to say, I should have put in the intro of our video that we shared at the bar last week, where that's the one that I should have put in the intro. Maybe it will make the rounds.
We, Louis and I had an adult beverage last week, and a gentleman friend that makes it sound like Louis is dating him. He wasn't, that I'm aware of, but a gentleman friend of Louis was like, "Oh, Ryan, yeah, Ryan Murrow, like I know him. He's on your podcast, yeah." And then he pulls up a picture of you, Ryan, and it was definitely probably like you when you were 22-ish, I would say, like But I was like, how did he pull that so quickly from his files? So he's clearly listening right now. So hey, bud.
I'll tell you his name after the podcast if you remind me. But
you're the hot one of the podcast, Ryan. Like people just can pull.
Right.
I don't think anybody said that, and you just went there. And I'm not saying that he's not. It's all we all have to have some realism here. I'm just saying. I don't know if you've noticed that there's some changes around here, and there's people that like a certain candy that you would think is disgusting. Maybe I'm somebody's good and plenty's,
You're someone's black licorice. I get it.
I could be someone's black licorice.
Yes. No. Listen.
Good and Plenty is the perfect candy for that, because there are some sick fucks that really like that, and then their teeth turn all gray and shit. Like what is up with that?
And then there's the Mike and Ike's. So
I love Mike and Ike's. You can't fight.
You don't even like yourself, is what you're saying in this scenario. Come on. Like Good and Plenty. Well, it's great to see everyone. Louis and I just came from an open mic, and so if we look a little depressed, a little less energized, it's because wow, being a comic is so exhausting and tough sitting through those. So yeah, look at us go. Okay, so let's talk everything and nothing. I know I kind of hinted this right before. Guys, I cannot get enough of our dear former coach from the Patriots just losing at UNC. I love that Bill Belichick is so bad at football now, and it brings me so much joy. So there was another game this weekend. UNC football again just ate it, and I feel bad for the players, but man, it makes me happy. Any thoughts? Any takeaways? Any potential players on UNC, or are you never going to put them on your fantasy team?
I actually don't know if there's anybody there. I mean, it doesn't look like there'd be anybody there as far as NFL ready as the way that things have been. But I don't know if they have anybody ready for next year. But no, I'm watching. I do love watching it go downhill. I also love the fact that there might, and again, I said this before the show, I saw something on Twitter, I don't know if it's right or wrong, of sorry, my daughter just walked in, whether right or wrong, he might be trying to get a buyout, which would be the best if like his college coaching career lasted like 3 weeks.
Do you want her to say hi? You can come on.
Come on, you can come say hi.
Jolena. Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, cool bow. How's it going?
Everybody was live.
Who do you have winning the Bills game on this week? Who do you think's going to win?
Who do you think's going to win the Bills game?
I'm not telling her who we're playing.
The Bills.
Oh,
who's your favorite player on the Bills? Josh Allen. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. And what do you think about Bill Belichick?
I didn't know what that means.
He's going to be trying to date you in 15 years. Okay.
See you soon.
I know. Go up to sleep. All right. Sorry about that.
Now, Ryan, wake up the twins, and I want to say hello.
Before she goes, can we ask her if she likes Good and Plenty's or not? I need to know.
No, because and you should know this. You got two girls the same age. Now you never ask a question again. Right now, I could hear her in the background going to my mom. I don't know what a Bill Belichick is, so that's why you don't want to give her any questions of something she doesn't know, because there will be plenty of follow-up questions. And she's at that age where she needs to understand everything. So
I get it, but she's gonna just be like, tell her, like, do the facial expression of Bill Belichick, like the thing, and then teach her that. So it would be a cute impression for the 9 people who will get it at her school. So just her teachers. Okay.
Guys, I just quickly, I hate to say it, but I kind of feel uncomfortable about the whole Belichick thing unraveling like this. Like, it's weird that I watched this guy, dismantle the Bills for so many years. And then now I'm watching this. I'm kind of like, I kind of feel bad for the guy. Like he's nobody wanted him in the NFL. So he takes this job. I always thought it was kind of odd that he took a college job. It doesn't typically translate. I mean, you look at the reverse situation of Saban trying to come to the NFL, that not working. Also, it was with a bad team, but in any event, it's just kind of weird for legacy purposes. I still do think he's one of the greatest coaches ever. And so maybe I'm just, I'm a little torn here. I don't know. It's kind of weird watching it.
So just to counter that, I respect that you are in a mood today. No, I'm joking. But so one of the Harborough brothers, they went from college football to the NFL and doing quite well for themselves. So why couldn't some massive Super Bowl champion coach translate into football for the college kids?
I mean, you have to run so much more than a team of 53, and you're also like trying to create like an environment, like a culture, right? Like, and I get it. You can do that. You're just,
I think he was in over his head. I mean, you have to do so much like recruiting, and then you have to. I don't
That's
know.
the thing too. Recruiting doesn't change in 1 year either. Like he just can't. So it's not like he got a lot. But I also wonder if he's going to stick around long enough to actually recruit his own players. So we'll see.
Yeah.
It's definitely more fun. The downfall is more fun than a come up, but I also wouldn't mind seeing it turn at some point. But we'll see.
He seemed very private on the Patriots. The fact that people are, interested in him, interested in his girlfriend, that sort of thing, I can imagine it's very uncomfortable, but not a fan of the guy, so I don't care. So, all right. Okay. So here's a little Bills thing. I know this is not a Bills fantasy football podcast, but this is for Louis' daughter. I have a Josh Allen quote. All right. And then this is him talking about his wife, Haley Steinfeld, who is the Academy Award nominee, Haley Steinfeld. He said, "When I get home, she's my biggest fan, my biggest supporter." Now, my question is for you guys. How many Bills fans saw that quote and they're like, no, she doesn't know. And then, I'm his biggest fan. And they like, how many men freaked out that they were Josh Allen's biggest fan?
I just did. I swear to God, I just got mad. I swear to God, that was what I was going to cut into until you asked that. But 100%, like, listen, bitch, you've been around for like 3 years. All right. I've been pulling for this kid for 10 years. He's going to bring me the first ring I've ever had in my life. No, I don't think she's there yet.
Odds that the Josh quote ends up in a Taylor Swift song. What do you think?
I just want to know how many men would not smooch Josh Allen, because, man, what a likable guy. Just so likable and just fun and cute. And so I can't imagine any guy who would not trade places with Haley Steinfeld. And I mean men who are identify as straight. I feel like most would be like, yeah, I'll take dibs. So I think it's kind of funny. But we want to talk about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Did you hear the song Wood? Now that Ryan brought it up. Ryan, what's your take on the song Wood?
Listen, I am surrounded in a house with a Swiftie, and I'm not a Swiftie. And so it's tough. It's tough sledding over here these days. I don't know. I'm just not a fan, but it's what's to say, that, songs are about sex all the time. I mean, I don't know it's not surprising.
Yeah. I don't find it. Yeah. I think good for her. I will say the first song and the last song are the best. The rest are kind of jumbled. But I don't know if
I hate that I know what the first song of the album is, and I really hate that about myself right now.
I think it's all fire. I think it's so good, and I'll be on record for saying that. I think from start to finish, bangers. And I've been rocking it since. And this is not a bit. I am a full-on Swiftie.
Yeah. The interesting thing, if anyone has not listened to the album and they grew up in the 2000s, early 2000s, the producer is Max Martin, and she usually has Jack Antonoff. But Max Martin was the guy who gave us he produced NSYNC and Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys. So all these poppy sort of albums that really changed our lives or our pop music IQ. But it is a little different, but I don't know. Good for her. I didn't create an album, so she's doing a lot more than I am. All right. Do we want to do one more? Or we want to move on and talk football?
Let's move on and get through here.
Sure.
What did you have? Go on. Do it.
Right.
We'll do one more quick one.
Okay, ready? Let me set it up. This is how open mics are like. You guys like fast food? Ice samples at McDonald's, not ice as in the bad guys, ice as in like water that's frozen. Ice samples at McDonald's, allegedly. Ice samples at McDonald's, Burger King, and KFC had significant levels of poop bacteria. That is a BBC investigation. So I guess I'm going to say this, but also if you are going to get any fast food, just say no ice, and also wash your hands. Don't bring your phone in the bathroom, and don't eat fast food for your cardiovascular health, and so you don't get C. diff. Okay, any hot takes on that?
I think it's an urban legend. I don't believe it's true. My dad used to do the thing, and I swear to God, I thought it was true until I was 40. So whatever. But he used to do the thing with the mints at the end of a meal. You know, the mints that would be in the mint tray. He would be like, you know, the second biggest ingredient besides mint in those mints, and I'd be what? And he'd be like urine from people going to the bathroom and then putting their hands in it. Yeah.
No.
Urban legends. Old people are dumb. The BBC's done.
No.
Poop. There's not poop in the ice.
It's bacteria because there's people. Louis, you don't think those mints add a glorious?
I do think the mints had a little bit of urine on them.
It's not urine.
I do think the mints, but it's old school stuff. You know, just a touch of urine is never going to hurt anybody.
No, a touch of urine won't, but a touch of number 2 will.
The mint is like fire; it kills everything.
The show has never sounded like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia more than it has right now. Like this is like a bit like You Are Charlie. You're like, the mitts kind of have some urine in them, I guess. You know.
Can we tell Jelena that that's what a Bill Belichick is?
It's a urine-filled mint.
It is also National Banned Book Week. So Louis, we'll just give you a highlights subscription because there's so many good science things to read in there. Okay, so we are going to talk football. Boo. No, we're going to talk football, everyone. And because I am just going with it, we are going to talk about our dynasty team. So one dynasty roster you do not know what to do with. That's what we're going to do, right?
Yep.
What's your mid dynasty teams for any Gen Xers out there?
Yeah. I'm going to share yours first, Ryan. You can talk about why you're struggling here. It's the Peter Griffin team here in the Family Guy League. Now, these leagues are weird. I'm going to be showing you a similar one. They are super flex. They are start 2 tight end premium. So it really balances out, and you got some defenses. You could start 2 defenses in these leagues too. So the flexes are really weird. You technically only have to start one quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, and a defense. But there's also 2 flexes that you can throw in defenses, super flex, so forth and so on, more tight ends. So go over your roster here and see, and I guess discuss with me what you're trying to figure out and where you should go.
So it's 20. Remember, it's 2018 2 copies, so it's kind of unique in that regard. Startup was a couple of years ago. I remember trading up to get Michael Thomas. That was in hindsight the worst decision ever. But in any event, now I'm really stuck, and I was like, you know what, these tight ends keep going so early. I'm just going to keep scooping the value. Well, even years later, I still haven't figured it out at tight end. I did get Colston Loveland there, and Gunnar Helm later on, but. I mean, man, when you're super excited on a Saturday and news breaks that I can't even remember who it was now. Somebody called up Albert Alberto. They called him up, and he played for the Raiders. That's right, because Mayer was out. So
and he had he had points.
What a thrill! What a thrill! I mean, that guy wasn't on my roster, not a week ago, and now he's a starting tight end for me. So listen, the problem is really that I have pretty decent depth at running back. I have good quarterback options. I'm fine with for now. A couple of pieces at receiver. Earlier in the offseason, I traded Tyreek Hill for Pickens straight up, and that looks good now. Obviously with the injury, that's unfortunate, but. So I don't know. I mean, I have my picks. It's some players that I'm not going to move, like Genty, and I'd be willing to move JCM for the right price. I think that might be the move to try and get another tight end. But then I'm going to be really scraping the barrel at running back too. So it's kind of a tough spot to be in.
I'm sorry if you said this already, but what's your record in this league?
It's a good record or decent record, but it's victory points here. So it's 3-2, but I only have 8 victory points because I think that's like based on how you've done in relation to the other teams every week. So like median scoring kind of thing. And so I'm kind of far back in that regard. So
there she is. There she is. Jelena, if you were going to get rid of any player on your dad's football team, who are you getting rid of? Bill Belichick or Josh Allen?
I get that, and I'll show my team here. I do think personally you need to make a decision on teams like that and try to go one way or the other. That team looks like you can get there. I mean, you didn't have Jaden Daniels for a couple weeks, like that helps.
What's your average? Do you know your average age, or like how many years left on average until you start?
It looks like a pretty young team, right?
It's pretty young. Yeah, I typically, I have a couple of guys like that are older, but most of them are young. I'm missing a couple of like maybe one big piece at receiver, so that might be another piece I got to look at. But it's just really hard to be anywhere in those leagues without at least some tight end points, and I feel like that's been holding me back for so long. So still haven't solved it with Loveland, looking like the lesser of the two picks so far between him and Warren.
Did you have that opportunity to pick Warren? Yeah,
and I took Loveland, and I was pretty confident in that decision. The draft capital said so too, and I'm so excited about it long term. But man, you can't deny Warren looks excellent. So, and the way they use him is so smart.
I was pretty, we know this. We talked about it. I mean, not to like pump my chest. I was pretty high on Warren over him, but I did like have some fear, right? Like, so I had enough fear that I mixed in enough Loveland that I wasn't shot out of it. This team here is my serial club team, the Wheaties.
Okay.
Wheaties here. And I'll see if I can.
For the audio listeners, just make sure you give a.
Yeah. So right now, like a middle of the pack, I'll look at my record, but I know I'm like middle of the pack. So I kind of have to make that decision this time of year. It's like, am I going to rebuild or am I going to go for it? I get Jackson Dart here early. So I got him and Goff as my quarterbacks, Cousins, Richardson, Chuck sitting there in case of a move anywhere there. JCM, Woody Marks, Tyrone Tracy, Jaden Blue. Like I need to get Harvey or Jaden Blue going on in this team here to do anything like real, because obviously I don't have a lot of running back. Woody Marks we'll talk more about later, but man, flash in the pan for a week, nothing. Pacheco's dead. He's on this roster. Brashard Smith, though, I think could be something. So I need one or two of these rookies just to go. I might want to trade one of them here soon for a veteran that's going to score some points, seeing that how many young guys I have, if I really want to go for a move here. Because in a wide receiver, I have Puka, which is the cheat code, Lad McConkey, who I expect to have better numbers throughout the year. Kirk, who I'm still waiting for. I don't know what your feeling is about that, Ryan, but I still have some optimism on Kirk. And then, Jameson Williams, who is my just my kryptonite this year in fantasy football. But then even at tight end, I got Kelsey, Mason Taylor, and Warren. So guys, it's a real middle of the pack team as far as where my age is too. So it's like, all right, this is the perfect example of what I'm talking about, where we got to really go and make a decision. I don't know how you would go there.
So first on Christian Kirk, he's the type of player in Dynasty that I'm waiting for him to have one or two good games or solid games, and then I'm looking to unload him. I don't think he's long for that spot. So I think with your current build, you can contend with another piece or two, but I think my preferred route would be to package Goff and try to get off Goff and pair him with someone younger and try to like hope that you can find a good combo with Dart for the future. You can still find, I think, a good number of buyers for Goff, and I think he's a good quarterback, but I think he's, I think you might get, this is one asset that I get like kind of spin off and help in other areas. So, whether that be another running back or, picks, or, you flip, him and JMO for, somebody else. It's easy to say, but that's a route I would look at. But I don't know how open you are to moving Goff.
Yeah, it's just really, I think he's one of the guys, especially with JMO there on that team, that I would want to stack if I am kind of going for it here. I do think
it's just
that
not
I'm going
looking
to
good though. The JMO thing.
No, that the JMO thing is super scary for sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys, moving along. Let's look at our first place at BBM team. So trade value strategy, best ball versus lineup leagues. What do you got?
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah, I know I mixed in two things in there in the lineup sheet. So we're not going to look at the BBM team today. We are going to do this here though. I wanted to talk about it last week.
Wanted our BBM team. I'm so sorry, everyone, but you too.
Yeah, well, it's doing good. It is in first place. We do have to take a look at that. One of our teams in first, but we will look at that another day. I just thought this would be interesting to talk about these leagues that we just looked at. I'm in 100 of them, and some are best ball, some are lineup, and I do feel like there's a difference in the trade value compared to for comparing best ball lineup, but I'm not. I don't know how to pinpoint that. Do you have any? I guess I'm looking more so. I think I grade depth better in the best ball leagues than I do in lineup leagues.
Yeah, and I feel like that's, at least to me, up until recently, that was counterintuitive. I used to believe that for best ball, you just always want to try and find the spike week players. Like the best player in best ball leagues was like Jamison Williams, but really it's not, because you want someone that has a pretty decent floor so that you're not just like, gutting yourself in 12th place and you have no chance of catching up because you had zeros at a certain position for too long. So yeah, depth is way more valuable in best ball than lineup leagues. Lineup leagues is actually where you want to take those big swings, because if it doesn't work out, you move off of them. That's why you swing on, the rookies at the end of drafts. I mean, Woody Marks is a great example this year. Not really even talked about that much, even though everyone kind of knew Nick Chubb was dust, right? And I mean, I've had reason to believe that Mixon was not coming back, and the reports all said the same thing, that like it wasn't looking good. So yeah, sometimes, I think it definitely, that's the difference between the two, is you want depth in best ball leagues and the upside shots in the lineup leagues.
And I think too, like you could take discounts to make sure you get your stacks. Like so if you're trying to get a guy in best ball, I think I'd be more inclined to take a little bit of a discount to make sure I got my stack with my quarterback. Even like I feel like the easy thing to say in lineup leagues is whoever gets the best player in the deal usually wins the deal. I almost think it's the exact opposite in best ball. Like, okay, I'll give you the best player. You give me 5 guys that are going to score at different positions. Like, you usually win out that way. So, all right. I didn't need to talk about it for an hour, but I just it's an interesting thing to think about, especially now that we are sitting here trying to build these different teams and go which way or another. And I found myself valuing players differently in the two.
All right. Well, we just finished week 5. I did not do great in my fantasy week. So I'm a big believer, as most therapists say, if you don't talk about it, it never happened. So I don't need to review anything. But gentlemen, would you like to talk about anything that happened?
No, we definitely don't need to talk about any of the cat picks that I had from last week.
I was going to say there are some stuff.
Guys,
we definitely have to talk some stuff here. So I'll go through like I have done to hold ourselves accountable. Ryan last week for his dogs was Drake May, quarterback 25.
Wait a second though. I know it was quarterback 25, but he did play out of his mind. Like he was a really good. It was a good.
We're not a hey this guy might play out of his mind podcast. We are a fantasy football podcast.
Add a dynasty fantasy football podcast and a real life ball knower podcast too.
No one is like,
right?
Thanks, Ryan.
Know that Drake May was good in that game, and he had so many yards, but didn't have the touchdown passes. That's it.
I was shocked to see that he was quarterback 25. So not great, but
I asked you guys on air, do I pick Minnesota or Philly as my defense? You're like, oh my gosh, Minnesota is on week 2. They're already in the UK. They ate so hard in the negative way, not in the cute way, like in the, oh no, now you have diabetes and you're going to die way. Not good. So we're going to erase.
They did fine for defense, didn't they?
That game was painful. Okay. So we're going to just week 5.
All right.
I'm going to say, if you don't want to talk about it.
Louis,
who was your best player that you had in on week 5?
Well, I'm going through the other ones here. Judkins, you had as one of your dogs. Running back 15, that's fine. That's kind of where he was. McConkey, wide receiver 20, which is best, about as good as he's been. So that's a good call. I had Rattler as my dog. He was quarterback 22. Bus. I had a Woody Marks is my dog for running back. He was running back 45, huge bust. I did crush wide receiver and tight end. I told you about Kendrick Bourne. He was wide receiver 6, and Darren Waller, wide receiver 6. Cats, we were both on Baker. He was quarterback 6, so that didn't work. I was on Kamara at running back. He was running back 27. Jefferson, wide receiver 11, so exactly where he was. And then I picked Hunter Henry, which, again, the Bills show, with whatever you want, that they're doing good against the tight ends. He was tight end 28, so it was a big hit. Ryan, not so great this week. You picked Rashad White. He was running back 7 as your cat, and then Agbuka, wide receiver 1. You went against your boy, and he never
reverse psychology. Okay, it worked.
you put him you put him down, but he ended up crushing. And at least you picked that Bowers would not be playing when you picked him as your cat, is what I'm assuming.
Wait till you hear Ryan's hot take about anyone with a torn ACL this week. He's like, I don't think he's going to play next week. So hot take
at the point of Wednesday last week, or maybe it was Tuesday, we had not known yet that he wasn't going to play because he had played the week before and he was gutting through it. So that's on.
Sounds like he might. Sounds like he might not play again.
That to get me back to even. I mean, come on, give me a break. The other cat are terrible.
I know it was a weird week. It was a weird scrambled, awful week. So moving on, let's see if we can redeem ourselves for week 6. Let's talk about our cats and dogs.
Trying to get our 2 boys ready to carry them to golf tournament before practice, right? 12 cats live across the road. Our door's open. Screen's broke. We need to get a new screen door, but the screen's broke, so you can come in through the screen, but you can't get back out of it. I turn and look. There's a little kitty cat in our kitchen. So I said, "What are you doing in here, little kitty cat?" By that time, the cat turns, tries to get back out. That screen won't go that way. Cat starts going meow, all crazy. And I told our players, we need more dogs. Bo's barking in the back. I have to go shut Bo up. Mel's like, "What's going on?" I said, "There's a cat in the house." "Cat in the house?" I said, "Yeah, there's a cat in the house." So I told our players, I tried to let it out the front door. Meow, meow, the cat's still going crazy in there. And I told our players, you need to be more like a dog. We don't need a bunch of cats in here looking in the mirror. Do I look good? I got my extra bands on. I got my other shoes on. Be a dog. We don't need no meows. We don't need no cats. We need more dogs.
Need more dogs. All right. I'm going to be very quick with this because I want you guys to just tell me everything about week 6. My dog is going to be Baby J, Baby Jelena, because he said, "What's a Bill Belichick?" Love it. Print. I want that on a t-shirt, but I don't want to buy it because I don't want his name on anything. And then number 2 is going to be my cat will be Bill Belichick, 2 and 3. Come on, bro. If my imaginary fantasy football team is doing better than your real life actual humans, you stink. Okay. That's as much excitement as I'll get. Okay. What do you guys got?
Do you want me to go with my dogs first?
Go with your dogs first. Yeah.
Your dogs.
Right. Let's think optimistically here to start. All right. So I'm gonna go with a risky one to start. And you'd think, wow, you had such a terrible week last week. Why don't you just go conservative? No, I'm gonna swing for the fences here, guys. This guy right now is being ranked I'd say, consensus wise, like quarterback 23, 24, like low end QB2. And I think he's going to be a low end QB1, and it's Jackson Dart. So he's playing Philly on a Thursday night. I know that sounds like a recipe for disaster. He's also not going to have Darius Slayton. And so it doesn't sound great, right? But he's just a dog. I think the design runs, the rushing floor that nobody seems to know about yet. And the fact that I'm always going to take a chance to take a shot at Philly because I just think they're the most fraudulent team in the league. Go Jackson Dart this week. I'm actually, I'm forced to start him kind of in one league with QB injuries and Lamar Jackson and stuff, but I'm actually kind of excited for it. So let's hope I don't eat my words here, next week. But next pick, another one of my favorite guys. I'm going to say this is one of the Ashton Genty legacy games. He's playing Tennessee. Tennessee's run defense is third worst in the league. And I know they can't get anything going, but man, that team is not very good. And I think they're going to start to lay down because that coach is going to get fired. So I think Genty has like 2-3 touchdowns on Sunday. My wide receiver dog is Xavier Worthy. This is like a last sort of shot as a wide receiver one type before Rice comes back. But they're playing the Lions. It's going to have to be a shootout. They don't have Terry and Arnold. The Lions are short in the secondary. So yeah, I think he's going to pop off. He was getting targeted last week, but I think they're trying to ramp him up. I think this week you start to see more of like the regular Xavier Worthy stuff. So I'm starting him with confidence this week. And then my dog of the week is Dallas Goedert. On the other side, I expect someone to be catching passes. I don't, I think he's just been kind of underrated. He's been pretty volume heavy and a reliable option for them. So I expect him to get, 4 or 5, catches. And, if he turns anything into, a touchdown with 40, 50 yards, that's going to pay off.
I'm not judging you or going back at you, but I felt like he wasn't getting too much targets and he was just scoring touchdowns. 15 receptions, 133 for 4 touchdowns. He's gotten all 4 of his touchdowns have been like in the red zone. So if he's, a red zone guy, great. And not a lot else is going on there. So I will go to dogs here. And my dogs will be at quarterback Stafford. Just Baltimore. I mean, look at what Stroud did last week. Like, I just think that's going to be a monster game. For running back, I'm having trouble with this, to be perfectly honest, which guy I want to pick out of this backfield, but I'm slightly leaning Kimani Vidal. So I'm going to pick him as my dog, but I will say during waivers, I have split my time between Vidal and Haskins, and I don't really know how to feel about that. I would like to hear your opinion when this is done. Wide receiver will be my dog, Isaiah Bond. I think a lot of people are souring on him because last week the numbers weren't there, but the targets still were. He had 8 targets. Gabriel, I think, looks pretty good. I'm looking for that to change and continue to get better for Isaiah Bond. So like that. And then for tight end, it's Tunges. Tunges is going to be absolutely, until Kittle is back, a must start. I mean, he's proving to be. He's catching the ball. We're finding out with Kendrick Bourne and Tunges and Mac Jones that San Fran is definitely San Fran is definitely just a system, right? So like all these guys are pretty great. I'm gonna go into my cats real quick, so then you can end with the cats. My cat for the week, Trevor Lawrence. I just think he'll be a little bit hot because of the two rushing touchdowns and people kind of liking what he did last week. But that Seattle defense has been really, really strong. I think he comes back down to earth. I'll skip running back for a second to go to wide receiver to pair that, because I'm going to go with Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, it just might not be there for Brian Thomas Jr. We've seen it in the league. I'm not calling it. I'm not trying to say that that's going to happen, but we have seen sophomore slumps where guys just don't get it together again. I'm not saying that necessarily that's what I think, but I do think this is a really tough matchup for them. So I'll pair them together.
And Louis, with a non-dynasty team, you're still keeping BTJ, right?
More so on a dynasty team would I be keeping him. On a non-dynasty team, like playing like this year, I'm worried about the rest of the year. I really am. I think that he's still worth keeping him for in dynasty, and maybe even trying to buy him right now for someone who feels like I do that it's going to be a rough year. But I'm not super optimistic about it turning around for him, but we'll see.
Literally checking right now if you have him in Family Guy. Let me see.
My running back is Cam Scadaboo. I think tough matchup Thursday night. Ryan already has Jackson Dart running for 700 yards, so I guess Scadaboo won't have anything left. And then Juwan Johnson for my tight end. That might be kind of copping out a little bit, but with the Taysom Hill and the Foster Moreau coming back, I feel like that Juwan Johnson time is.
That's worse than taking Brock Bowers last week, I tell you. And second of all, for my dog pick, I was mistaken. He doesn't have a ton of catches, but Goddard has had games of 9 targets and 7 targets. So he's getting looks. Like I don't know. I think he's going to put it together. Anyways, what was the running back question quickly, Lou?
Kamani Vidal or Haskins.
Your guess is as good as mine. I was a Kamani Vidal slappy last year, unfortunately, and had way too much of that guy. But I don't know if he really has the juice. They've gotten so much of a look at him, and he's not really done anything. So yeah, it's just maybe an avoid. Maybe they bring someone in. Anyways, my cat of the week for quarterback is Justin Herbert. If you look at his numbers, he's kind of tailing off, and he's got this like really good reputation right now, and I think that's what he's kind of riding off of. But the other thing is he's rated as like a top 5 quarterback this week, but I think it's because everyone thinks that they're going to just like abandon the running game because they don't have the piece. I just don't think that's going to happen. I do think that those guys are going to get work for now. Because that's the way Jim Harbaugh wants to run the offense. So I don't like the situation for Herbert this week. So he's a cat for me. We have great minds think alike, I guess. I guess maybe other than last week, Louis. ETN is my running back pick. I think the Jags are going to have a little bit of like a hangover from the high of beating KC, and it's also just a tough matchup. I mean, the Seahawks are a good defense, other than last week when they got smoked by the Buccaneers. My wide receiver cat is Jamar Chase. This again, he's being rated as like a mid, wide receiver 1. I don't know if he's going to have like that instant chemistry with Flacco. I don't think they're going to be able to protect him, and Green Bay's defense is really good. So I'm just kind of scared about him this game, to be honest with you. And then tight end, I'm going to go McBride. He also has just been a big disappointment this year, and I think a lot of it is like offensive design issues and Kyler Murray issues, but he's not really stood out in any way, and he's consistently rated as the top option, which he might be, but man, that just says a lot about the state of the position. So I'm kind of fading McBride this week, even though I'm probably starting him if I have him.
Yeah. My first question for both of you is when Scadaboo is his name is said, do you think he tells people it's spelled the same way as it's pronounced? Do you think he says that a lot?
I'm not the pronunciation guy. I have a lot of trouble with everything, but specifically that one I have had tons of trouble with.
That's so good.
Scadaboo a lot. Scadaboo.
So really interesting takes. Any feedback from either cats and dogs? Any cell phone responses? We got it. It's live.
No, I disagreed with something Ryan just said, and now I can't remember what it was. But I did disagree with one of your takes, and now I can't
Jamar
remember.
Chase.
One of your the last, so one of your cats.
Was it Jamar Chase?
No. And I also think he eats a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I would fight you on that a little bit. Man, I can't remember who
ETN or McBride.
No, I
Yeah,
don't know.
those are
Maybe
all
it was
good.
something else,
Herbert
but-
was the only other one.
Oh, the Herbert. Yeah, I do. That's it. I disagree with that. That I don't think it's Harbaugh wants to play the running game anymore. I'm not saying that that's going to stop them from doing it, and these two guys will have roles. But I think even with Hampton and Harris, they showed that they're going to be more of a passing team this year. So
I mean,
I'm not disagreeing with you that Herbert can come down to earth, but I think that they've shown more. They're more apt to pass.
I mean, last 2 weeks he's got 166 passing yards, 203 passing yards. 2 weeks before that he was at 242. I mean, I get the willingness to pass. I just don't think it's really added up to a lot of volume. And I get it. He's playing Miami, but the other thing about Miami is they have the worst run defense because teams can just run all over them. So I think they're just going to hand the ball probably to Hassan Haskins. And if it's early down work, I mean, he's probably getting it. So
Okay.
I don't know.
So in this conversation, you're McDaniel versus Harbaugh. Are you going to, if you're going to say you want Harbaugh to, you guys want the Chargers to throw more, or you want them to pass more, Louis? You said throw more?
I just think that they are throwing more than people give them the credit for, because I think that a lot of people still have that, oh, Harbaugh loves to run the ball thing. But
Mike McDaniel is now playing for his life. Literally, like, this guy is one game away from getting the axe, right? So are you now thinking we got to run, or you think we got to prepare for the throw if you're McDaniel?
Oh, and I mean,
because honestly, like this might, because if you're playing for your life, you're going to do anything possible.
I think that team has quit on him already. I think you're going to see him get fired here over the next couple of weeks.
Yes, but Sunday's game, is he anticipating the run or the throw?
I mean, they're going to be losing, so I think they'll throw more because of that. I think it's pretty much that simple. I don't think that they're going to have a real game plan, because I think they're garbage. I think he's garbage, and I think he's about to be fired. So I think they'll probably be losing, and they'll throw. Waddle's a lot of fun. I'm playing Waddle, and Achan's great. Even in the one thing people think about in a script where teams are throwing a lot, they just want to totally eliminate the running back, where Achan, maybe out of anybody in the league at running back, like totally eats in that situation, right? Like he'll have 10 receptions.
I'm going to say something very controversial. Not that I think this is going to happen, because the Chargers, I think, are a better team, but nothing is more empowering than a pissed off team. This is not a gimme. I don't know. The Dolphins aren't great. They are not a good team. I will be on record, but nothing like a pissed off team playing against the Chargers for their
Ryan, life. To just put my point in even more. Chargers are 4th in the league at pass rate at 62.58. So they're throwing way more than people are giving them credit for, and it might go way more the other way because of the injuries. I'm not saying that.
How do you beat the Dolphins? You run against them.
You run, exactly.
Worst defenses in the league against the run.
You definitely should, and there should be that, but they might not have that. I don't know if any of these two guys are good.
Are they so pissed off that they are going to just blow up everything and just play dirty and play like?
I don't care how pissed you off you are. It doesn't make you good, and they're not good. I get what you're saying, but for sure. But I think they're so awful that nothing. There's no, and I think they're checked out. If I had a guess, I would say 70% of that locker room just wants him gone, and then maybe you'll see a little bit of that. Maybe you'll see a little bit more angst and ready to play for a new guy, but he's
Do you think
the most unlikable person.
Do you think if he just made the switch to full length pants instead of capris, he would get the locker room back?
Dude, they have to talk so much shit about him. It is insane. He looked like a little boy ready to cry coming off the field the other day. It was brutal.
I'm a Mike apologist. It's very warm in Miami. Also, just imagine if he went to the 49ers, the superpower that team would be with all those brains.
I don't mind his style. I don't even mind if Joe Brady goes and gets a head coach job, I would love to have him as the offensive coordinator here in Buffalo. I think he's a great coordinator. He is not head coach material. He's not he's not built to lead.
You heard it here though. I'm his apologist, and I think there's going to be maybe not this week when he potentially loses his job, but man, I think a pissed off team really shows up, and this might be the week. All right, anyway, I guess I'll stop talking sports. Let's talk about road trips. So our dear fearless leader Louis is going on a lovely road trip, and it's going to be very beautiful and spiritual and fun and relaxing, and you are totally going to get everything you need done before you leave for this trip, Louis. So in honor of this road trip, we are drafting our road trip draft.
I got to mention one thing. So I'm going with co-host or former co-host Kyle Turner and our friend Jesse, who no one's been on the podcast or anything like that. But Jesse, he legitimately texted me and Kyle an essay on how and what to pack. I go, did you just send an essay on how to pack to two grown adults?
Yeah.
And then he said, and I want your opinions on this. He said, and this is how he ends it. That's how he ends an essay on how to pack. He goes, and don't forget the underwear rule. It's how many days you're gone for plus 4. What are your thoughts on that?
Who wants to take this first? Ryan, you want to go first, or?
Go ahead, Ellie. You look like you're.
No, Ryan's ready to go.
No, I'm still trying to process this the days plus 4. I mean, I don't know if I've ever heard that. That's kind of. But what about 1 day plus 4 is insane. That doesn't work.
I'm so on with Jesse. I'm so okay. I'm not only a Mike McDaniel apologist, also a Jesse. So shout out to Jesse who's probably listening. We got the Sabres home opener tomorrow. See you soon, bud. But here's the thing. You should be able, not to brag, but sometimes you go on a little fancy date after a long day of exploring. And sometimes you need to freshen up and get a new pair of underoos. So that's why there's sometimes a traveling pair of underwear, and then full day, and then just a and I think you're 3 men that are probably going to go hang out, go climb.
We are
trees.
going on hikes daily, so those underwear should be changed before we go out. I totally agree. I just never heard that exact rule.
4 is a lot for me, but I'm also not packing an additional 4. One, I think, is in case I ever lose my credit card and I need to sell a pair of underwear to sleep. So I'm a favor. Guys, I don't know. But I don't get the rule of 4, but I do respect it. I respect an extra pair. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let me get this
I'm
order
sorry.
for us. I got Ryan, you got the first pick, Ellie second, and I'm third. So Ryan,
I'm third. Look at you.
First pick in the road trip draft.
Let's go potentially 3 pair. 3 pair, Ryan. Let's go.
All right. With the first pick in road trip draft, I'm gonna go with sheets, baby. Let's go to sheets. I mean, the best part about a road trip is like hitting up like the convenience stores and like that or Wawa. I mean, those are the best. So
that's really good.
So great. That is yeah, who doesn't love like a slice of pizza from a place where you might need an extra pair of underwear later?
Do you think there's poop bacteria in their ice at those places?
100%.
I will investigate. And then Louis be like, no, if there's Mountain Dew Red 40, it's fine. So if we named Red 40 just Code 40, would that be cooler? Huh? Okay, so mine is a very sweet and romantic road trip I took, and it was a gentleman caller found out that I love Paul Simon, and on a date, we drove and did a road trip to Pittsburgh and saw Paul Simon, and it was fantastic, amazing, and it was lovely. So a road trip to Pittsburgh is great.
Okay, I will piggyback off that a little bit because my two top picks are still here. You guys missed the music of the road trip. You go on the road trip is whoever's playing the music, bang the music that we're playing is that's what it's all about. Singing, dancing, the sing-alongs. I love it. I love that about a road trip. I'm definitely the guy that's doing car karaoke. And then I'll go with the movie Road Trip. So funny. A comedic, what's the word? Very good. I lost my words. What's that?
Number 2 is officially what?
The movie Road Trip.
Oh, the actual movie Road Trip. Okay, that works. That's a great.
The actual movie Road Trip is great.
I was thinking you're like in your car with like a pop-up DVD player, being like watching.
No. The actual movie Road Trip. It's a very. It's one of the best comedies of all time.
It's so good.
And that hot blonde gets naked. What's her name?
Brittany Murphy.
No, Elizabeth something, I think.
Elizabeth Hurley.
She's so hot. All right, go on.
Okay. I'm just going to name every dead actor I know. She's so hot. Okay, I'm going to save my childhood trauma for my 4th pick. Okay, so I love the so I've traveled with my dogs, with actual humans. There's nothing like the pit stop to the gas station where it's meet you in 6 minutes and we got a time, or you get a coffee, you get something like some sort of snack. You look at the weird ass gas station, or the weird there's you can buy sweatshirts that have weird stuff, or Beanie Babies still. I love like an awkward pit stop. I love a pit stop on a road trip. It's something very fun, but yeah, it's kind of cool. And that's when you're the one not driving. That's the time you're like, oh, I'll pay for gas, and you're like $40. It's the best.
So it's like you're talking about like a gas station, it's like a Sheetz, but it might be like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like happening there also.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so in New York State, there's this great one on the way to. It's on the 90. It's on the way to Minnesota, but it's on the way to Ohio and all those crusty states that are not New York. And but there's one that like they'll sell apples outside of it. There's like one of those claw machine games. There's there might be a Qdoba, and there's like it's just that weird. There's like a 49 stall bathroom for no one's ever go. Like I love that. I love that kind of those pit stops. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You buy souvenirs at a pit stop, and you're like, that just shows how much you're gonna break up with that person next. You're like, I got you this Beanie Baby.
That's great.
You know what
I mean?
All right. Sheetz is like just a standalone gas station. This is like the thing where then you can kind of.
I know what you're talking about. Okay. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about like a whole like pit
family on a trip. Yeah, it's the break when you got to pull over because someone's too tired.
You get to stretch. You get to sleep in there if you want.
Your dogs go potty because they're good boys.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. I'm gonna take a sharp turn here. My pick is name that car. You guys ever play that? You're like, name what brand of car that is. Like I used to be Used to do that a lot as a kid. And then I'm gonna go with the better of the road trip movies. I'm gonna go with Euro Trip.
Ooh.
That is the better of the road trip movies.
Yeah, easily.
But is that really a road trip? They fucking flew across the fucking country or the world.
Let's negotiate that. I mean, come on, it has the word trip in it. It's literally a road trip.
Fine. Allie, go ahead.
But also, Ryan and Brian Murrah are like going on a road trip with their parents, and they're like, "Name that car." And he's like, "Lexus LTC." We got a Cadillac 100. And then my family's like, they have at least 3 wheels on their car. Very fun though. I'm glad you had a good time. Okay, so this is my this is my third. I'm gonna go this.
Third.
Okay, this is my third pick. I went to Colorado from Buffalo, and my family, we had a station wagon, the kind where like there's that back seat that faces like the back window, which dad steps on the brake, you're dead. Which is kind of fun. But they took my first communion money, and my dad they didn't put it in a bank account for me, and my dad just took that money, and we went on a road trip to Colorado. So it's kind of sad because I could have invested that, and I don't know, did something with my life. Also, was my dad just using that to get weed?
Definitely.
Yes, okay. It was like 1989 or something. But anyway, so a road trip to Colorado. We have a really beautiful country in the United States, and sometimes you need to see it because as much as it sucks sometimes, we really do live in a beautiful country where there's so many lovely people and lovely landscapes.
I love what you're doing, that you're doing personal road trips, and I would have done that if I could have thought of it, but I didn't think of that. First thing I will do is, and I'm not one anymore. I don't even do the vapes, but like smoking on a road trip. There's just nothing better. When I was a smoker, I would smoke a carton of cigarettes from here to Florida. When I lived in Florida, I would travel back from Buffalo to Florida quite a bit to come home and visit family, and I drove every time. It's a 20-hour trip, and in that 20 hours, I'm telling you, I smoked 10 pack of cigarettes. There's always something about. Even now, I was telling Kyle the other day, driving with him, I was like, I haven't even vaped in months, but I feel like I'm going to have to be doing something because when I'm on a road trip, it's something. And then I'll go with, there's a few good ones here, but I'm going to go with stopping at town bars. I absolutely love just stopping in like, small town USA and give me a corner dive bar and just, sitting down and talking to the local drunk. That's one of my favorite things to do.
I love it. And then this is my last. I'm going to say road trip snacks. It's fun to pack for. It's fun to organize. It really says a lot about a person, what their sweet to savory ratio is. And I'm a big popcorn fan, and I just love wrecking someone's car by leaving kernels throughout their car that they'll never find until they're trying to turn their car in for a better model. So road trip snacks.
Nice pick. All right. For the last one, I'm going to just go sleeping. You ever fall asleep in the car on the road trip and then you wake up and you're like, wow, we're here? This is great.
Yes.
This is the greatest thing ever.
I don't do well with it, but I respect you people that can and waste all of it, but I never am the guy that can just take a nap.
Perfect. It was a great.
Speak for yourself.
So that was a lovely, lovely draft. Any other hot picks? I know I've gone on great road. Any top road trips that anyone has taken that you want to just give a shout out to?
Yeah, I think just if you're in the Buffalo area to go like across to the Wayne Gretzky wineries and like the Niagara on the Lake wineries, like that's a lot of fun for just like a night. Even you can just hit a bunch of them, go for dinner, come back the next day, and it's so quick and easy and nice. So
yep.
This one I'm doing tomorrow. I'm super stoked about. Like you go through Saratoga Springs, then up to Vermont. Like it's going to be gorgeous. Peak leaf peeping season. So I'm stoked about that. I did have one that I thought about when you started doing personals. I'll give you the cliff notes. Yeah. But one time when I was living in Tucson, as a teenager who did a lot of drugs. I was 17 maybe, and I always had a pacifier that was laced with acid. Like, I was a disaster. I was going to a rave in Los Angeles from Tucson. I got to the border of the two states, Arizona and California, and like right before the border, my car died, and I freaked out because I was really high on acid. So what I did was I walked miles. This is before the days that like there was really good cell service. I did have a cell, but it wouldn't work. Walked miles to the next town, found an auto parts store, bought spark plugs. Why? I have no fucking clue. It was just, to me, in my head, spark plugs is what my car needs. So I walk, all the way back to my car to do, and I pick up the hood, and at that moment, I realize I don't even know how to fucking put in spark plugs right now. Like, what am I doing? And I started crying my eyes out. Had a total breakdown, mental breakdown. So now I had to go walk somewhere else to try to call somebody. The cops kicked me off the road. They wouldn't even help me. I was like, I'm just trying to get help. They were like, you can't walk on the throughway. So I swear to God, I know this is like, I'm making this part up because of the drugs. They made me get off the throughway, walk down like a really, really dark ass road in the middle of the desert. Like, just hearing coyotes, tripping my balls off. It was the worst. Got to another town, got to a gas station, called my aunt who lived in Phoenix. She was like, I'm coming. She found, she was 5 hours away, but she's like, I got this guy. He's got a tow truck. We're coming to get you, coming to rescue. So she's like, where are you? I gave her the gas station address, and about an hour later, they gave me, the guy at the gas station goes, here, just take one of those blankets and just make yourself comfortable. Like, I was literally like laying on the floor at a gas station, and because I was so tired, so done. I was coming clean by now, and some girl came in, and I started talking to her, and I ended up leaving, going to smoke weed with her for 2 hours, hanging out with her, hooking up with her in a park. Then I was like, I gotta get back. My aunt should be picking me up at this gas station pretty soon. So I never made the rave. I did have to go back to Arizona, but still a great story that I can tell here.
Whoa.
Listeners. There's so much more to the story. That was definitely Cliff Notes, but there was a lot of tears. What's that?
You lived in Tucson?
Yeah, I lived in Tucson. I moved to Tucson when I was 16. Lived there for like a year and a half till I came back because things got bad.
And then you did, yeah.
Let's just say I didn't come back optionally.
That's bonkers. Well, we are so happy you're alive. I guess I would say one of my favorite, just a little, like, nothing's going to top your stuff at all, but I think it says a lot about road trips, which are so great, is that whether it's friends or a loved one or someone you're dating or someone you're married to, you find so much out about a person because you're just stuck there. And it's very old school where it's, and you can talk, you can laugh, you can get serious, and it's so special. And it's, it's a really cool thing. So saying that, safe travels, safe journey. You have a great group you're going with. Bring at least 4 extra pairs of underwear, and enjoy the leaves.
We will be on next Tuesday instead of Wednesday here, probably 9:00 still, but we'll announce that. And I will be on from Vermont on Dynasty Degens 11:00 with Stacey Perez for tailgate, wake up and tailgate. So we'll see what kind of condition I'm in, but I will be on the show.
And the NHL season has started. So tomorrow is a Sabres home opener, which means your Sabres podcast, Ryan, Louie, and Chris. Stay tuned for that if you are listeners. So enjoy the week. Good luck week 6. And good luck, Mike McDaniel. I really want you to kick some ass so I sound super